Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 15 of the ONNNNNN Block podcast. It is Sunday, August 11th, 2024. I actually had to check the date there for a second because I don't know what day it is anymore. I am your host, Nordic, here, joined with LeBlock. How we doing, sir?
Tired.
Finally about what I expect.
Finally got it to work.
Finally. We've been having computer issues before we got started here. We are joined with a special guest, a good friend of ours. He has 15.9K followers on TikTok. He is a huge Blackhawks content creator. We have Keegan Olivera joining us here on the podcast. How are you doing today, sir?
Nordic, I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me on. Good to talk to you guys again.
No problem. I had him on my other podcast in, I think it was like late March, early April.
Yeah, it was sometime a couple months ago,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, but now you're joining me here today on my other podcast, the ONNNNNN Block Pod. So, LeBlock, I think I actually have some questions for you if you want to start off with those, LeBlock. Some of them are about the Blackhawks this coming season, so let's get it going.
The first question is, how does it make you feel to be the first ever guest on the ONNNNNN Block podcast?
I'm the first guest?
Yes, you are.
Me? Oh, this is news to me. Well, now I'm honored. Well, thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I didn't know I was the first guest. It means a lot. I'd like to thank my family, my friends for helping me get here, but no, I'm glad to get to be able to talk to you guys tonight.
Me too, man. Me too.
Perfect.
I'm finally glad to have a guest on.
So going into the season this year for the Blackhawks, what are your expectations for the team, and what do you hope to expect from the certain players on the team going forward?
Yeah, really going into this season, we're hoping for more of improvement going compared to last season. We're just going on that slow exponential, hopefully rise back up to the playoffs and Stanley Cup era. So yeah, hopefully just winning more games, not being as bad as we were last year. Continue to develop our guys, see how Bedard does in his sophomore year. Hopefully he'll avoid the sophomore slump. Continue to develop our prospects. We have Korchinski, who will be running probably a top pair. We'll see if Levshinov gets to play. So it'll be a good mix. We did a lot in free agency, brought in a couple veterans, Alec Martinez, Pat Maroon, Bertuzzi, Teravainen's back on Chicago. So we brought in a lot of veteran help to help out a lot of our young guys. So I think it'll be interesting seeing the young guys develop, giving the older guys, a bit of a chance to shine on a struggling Hawks team. So really just seeing improvement compared to the last few years is what I'm hoping for this upcoming season.
Yeah, I think the team will definitely especially if Levshinov gets time, I think the team will be a lot better. They made some really good ads in the offseason. Like, I like the Bertuzzi signing. I like them bringing in Teravainen. I saw some people making the argument, they're overpays. It doesn't matter. They're not contending. They're not going to be
Blackhawks are overpaying everybody right now. You saw Nick Foligno, he's getting, $4 million a year for the next 2 years. There's a couple guys that were paying a little extra just to really reach the cap floor for a while, especially last year. A lot of those 2-year, $4 million bridge deals are just to reach the cap floor at a higher value. Obviously, we spent a lot of money this year, which now we don't really need to reach the cap floor as hard as we did compared to the last few years.
Yeah, exactly. You're not having to trade for a huge ass contract and have just all of it on LTIR like the Coyotes did for so long. And the other reason too for it, I guess, and this might be true, this might not be true, you might have to pay players extra money to come play for that team right now.
Yeah, that kind of goes without saying, I think, when you look at their win-loss record. So yeah, definitely if you want to get a guy to play for your team, you're going to have to pay him a pretty penny, especially on the Blackhawks in this day and age.
Right, 100%.
Who's your favorite acquisition? Who are you most looking forward to seeing that's new to the team?
I'm excited to see Teravainen back on the Hawks. Hawks fans, we didn't really get to see Teravainen that much in a Hawks jersey. It was just those first couple years. Obviously, he won a Stanley Cup with the Blackhawks in 2015, and he was a big piece of that playoff run. He had a huge goal in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final that year. So he had a lot of potential that we got to saw. Obviously, we shipped him off early to Carolina, where he spent most of his career. But getting to see him back in a Blackhawks jersey, just a little bit older, I think will be very exciting. I'm excited to see the impact that Pat Maroon has on the Blackhawks. I think that'll be very interesting. I still can't really process that really happened. Alec Martinez in a Blackhawks jersey is going to be really weird to see. And Tyler Bertuzzi, he's a fun guy. You can expect him to play a lot of top line minutes with Bedard. But out of everybody, it'd have to be Teravainen back in a Hawks jersey.
100%. That's mine as well.
Yeah, that might make a lot of sense to me. Yeah. So, and then how do you feel about Coach Luke Richardson? Because I know for me, I got actually the opportunity to meet Luke Richardson when he was an assistant coach here in Ottawa many, many years ago. I just want to know what the fans' take on Richardson is.
Right. Well, I think he's very, very well spoken. He's great when he talks to the media, and he seems like a great guy to have in the locker room. I think when it comes to his actual coaching, like carousel, it's kind of tricky when you're given a really bad set of cards. In his case, he has a very lackluster roster, basically an AHL roster, if you will. And he doesn't have a lot of talent, but now as that talent is starting to come in, we're starting to get guys to play on the team that have more talent. We're going to see what he's capable of cooking up in the locker room. Hopefully, we'll see that improvement, not only from the players, but from the coaching staff as well. But I think he's a great guy. He's a guy that I like behind the bench, and I think can lead the Hawks to some success.
I think he's definitely done a great enough job. I mean, honestly, like the team as it isn't like spectacular. So I think he's done a good enough job. How do you feel about Taylor Hall? Is the guy going to be healthy this year? Is he going to play?
Let's hope he can stay healthy. He was a guy I was really excited for when we originally acquired him in the Nick Foligno Taylor Hall deal with Boston. So yeah, I'm excited to have him back on the ice. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. It'll be interesting to see where the Hawks decide to put him in the lineup. Will they want him back on the top line with Bedard, where he started last season? Or are they going to want to move him around the lineup? Because now you've got guys like Bertuzzi and Teravainen that can play top-line minutes. Will they want Kurashev on the top line? So you got to kind of figure out where to put these guys. But I think Luke Richardson will probably play around quite a bit with these lines and kind of see what he likes. You could take it as like an experimental year. Obviously, the Hawks aren't making no playoff run this year. I think that goes without saying. So he's going to test some things out, mix up the lines quite a bit, and I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
Do you think Davidson could flip some of these guys? Like Hall's expiring this year or this next season. So is Athanasiou, Ryan Donato, Pat Maroon, and Martinez. Do you think he could flip some of them?
Yeah, definitely. Those are veteran guys that a lot of playoff teams are going to want to have. So I can expect towards the deadline, the Blackhawks might want to become a seller team. A lot of those guys have only 1 to 2 years left on their contract, so they won't be too hard to flip, so they can acquire more draft picks, bring in more capital, and continue to build for the future.
Love it.
2 more questions. So, Artem Levshinov, your number 2 overall pick. I'm a big Michigan State guy, so I love Artem Levshinov.
You like him? Okay.
I love the way he plays. So, do you expect him to be a mainstay in the top 4 this season? Or do you expect him to go to Rockford?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they want to put him. I honestly expect him to probably start in Rockford to get some pro experience outside of the NHL. I think they'll start him off down there. Rockford's got a great team. It looks like they're going to have a great team this year. Going to play with some of the Blackhawks' top prospects down there. But for sure, I think that they will bring him up at some point, and he will probably play top-line minutes. Will they put him with Alex Vlasic? Will they put him with Kevin Korchinski? I don't know, but those are 2 great options to have on your left side. And he's a first-round pick, 2nd overall pick. He's someone that you're going to want to see on the ice, and he's someone that I'm hoping that we can see on the ice in the Hawks jersey this year.
Awesome. Final question. Predict Bedard's stat line next season.
I hate this question. I see it all the time on my social medias, like over, under, whatever. There's so many factors that come into predicting these things, like can they stay healthy, who will be playing with them.
Of course, yeah.
But I've seen a pretty strict line that Hawks are kind of debating. It's like 90-ish points is the over-under. I think he will probably be just under. I don't think he'll be dramatically under. Obviously, if he doesn't get injured, I don't think he'll be really under. But if he can stay healthy the whole year, I guess he'd probably put up around 30 to 35 goals, maybe 50-ish assists. So I'd say roughly anywhere from like 80 to 85 points.
Yeah,
sophomore slump's a possibility, though.
Yeah, that was.
I don't.
Not saying I want that.
It's not for a guy like Bedard. It's not.
I was going to say, I think like a 30, 50 year, 80 points isn't out of the question for sure.
Absolutely. So this is a good transition into things that Nordic found on Twitter. This is, I guess, becoming a segment for every single episode during the off season, where I just scour the globe on Twitter and find whatever I can find and discuss on the podcast.
You can find some crazy stuff on there.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. So this first one comes from NHL Network, and it involves Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks, and it's asking the question that I think a lot of people are asking. It's saying, should the Chicago Blackhawks name Connor Bedard captain? I want to know Keegan's thoughts on this first before we discuss. Keegan, what do you think about this?
Yeah, well, I think it's undeniable that Connor Bedard will be the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks at some point. It's just a matter of when, not if. Jonathan Toews, when he was a captain, he was named like the third youngest captain, I believe, when he became captain back in 2007, I want to say. He was 20 years, 79 days old, I think, is exact, by the way. And wow, Bedard, if we did name him captain this year, he'd be 19 and whatever many days old. So I think he has the potential to be captain. He will be captain. He's capable of being captain this year. But where I'm kind of on a gray line with it because of Nick Foligno on the team. We just extended him 2 years, and he runs that locker room. All the guys look up to him. He's a great leader, a proven leader, as he was the captain on the Blue Jackets. Feels like forever ago.
Yeah,
but
he's been
with Foligno, Foligno's a guy I would probably prefer seeing captain over Bedard as of now. I feel like with the extension of Foligno, was there any terms of him becoming captain, or were they like, we just want you to not understudy, but like teach Bedard while he's captain? So it'll be interesting to see if they want Bedard to be captain and have Foligno teach him, or will they go with Foligno and have Bedard sit under him until Foligno's contract runs up?
Do you think we'll know that by the season? Or are they going to go no captain for another year?
It'll be interesting. I'd prefer to see a captain this year. I think it'd be interesting to go without a captain for back-to-back years, which is super weird being a Blackhawks fan, by the way. I've never been in this kind of situation. It's just been this dude right here all my life. So it's a pretty unique situation for myself, but it's hard to say. I think, honestly, the fans, everybody wants Bedard to be the captain. He's the young kid. He's the guy that's going to lead us through the playoffs and hopefully the near future. But I think Foligno's more captain material as of right now. If you wanted me to pick a captain this very moment, I would pick Foligno over Bedard. But if they want to aim for the long run and lock Bedard as their captain now, they have that option. There's no bad route that the Hawks are taking here. Unless they name Seth Jones captain, then that's the bad route.
Assistant captain, maybe. Maybe he'll be one of those guys.
That'd be
probably the only thing he'll get. I agree with what you're saying. LeBlanc, where do you stand on this?
I agree with Keegan, what he's saying. I would say, probably, like you said, Foligno's contract's 2 more years. And I always have a thing, it's I feel weird if guys are named the captain before their ELC is up. To me, it's a weird thing. I never really liked it. I think once we get to, year 3 of Bedard, he's probably going to be named the captain, or his 4th year. But I could see, Foligno taking him under his wing as, taking that next step towards a leadership role rather than being the young kid. So, yeah, I think not this season, but probably the following season is a big possibility.
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion. So moving into our next topic, or topics here, we got some start bench cuts, just for fun. It's the off-season, what the hell else are we going to talk about? So we're going to start with a start bench cut of Steven Stamkos, Nazem Kadri, and I almost said Jonathan Toews. John Tavares. I got Blackhawks.
You know who would start for me if it was Toews.
Oh, obviously. All right, so Steven Stamkos, Nazem Kadri, John Tavares. We're going to go with how they are right now in their careers, not overall or, 5 years ago or anything like that. Right now. So I'll give it to... Actually, I'll go first. So I'm going to start Stamkos. I'm going to bench JT. Cut Kadri. Actually, hang on a second. LeBlanc, either of you go.
I'll go because mine was exactly the same. I had Stamkos starting, I had Tavares on my bench, and I had cutting Kadri. I honestly thought going into this it was overall career, but looking at it, it can really go any way. The only Stamkos and Tavares are really similar. Not as much now, but throughout their career they're very similar in terms of points. Kadri's going to be lower on the point side. He's more of the 200-foot player, most all-around 200-foot player, I believe, out of the three. But it's hard to argue against two guys with as much success as Stamkos and Tavares.
So before LeBlanc goes, I want to read off their stat lines real quick. So Steven Stamkos in 79 games played with the Lightning had 40 goals, 81 points. John Tavares had 80 games played, 29 goals, 65 points. But Nazem Kadri had 82 games played, 29 goals for 75 points. So actually, Kadri has more
good
points.
Year.
Yeah, he had a pretty damn good year for a Calgary team that wasn't that great. LeBlanc, where do you stand on this as the Leafs hater?
Okay, first of all, you're correct. Second of all,
hey, that makes two of us.
Second of all, I actually agree with both of you. I would start Stamkos, bench Tavares, Kadri. I'm a Leafs hater, but I'm also like realist. I'm not gonna be like, he's a Leafs, so we obviously gotta cut him.
Bench Tavares cut Tavares because he's a Maple Leaf. Damn. All right, well, that was an easy one. I got a much harder one here for you guys. Start, bench, cut, Braden Point, Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser. All right, let me get up their stat lines real quick. I'll let you guys go first.
James, you gotta kick this off.
All right. I'm actually gonna start Braden Point.
Ooh.
I'm gonna bench Elias Pettersson. I'm gonna cut Brock Besser.
Okay. I did something pretty different. Let me just put this asterisk up here before I say anything. I cannot remember a single thing that any of these players did in their respected tournament for that year. So let me just put that up.
No. It's not based off the tournament.
I looked up their stat lines and everything, so I have a little bit of knowledge. Anyways, I'm starting Brock Besser, I am benching Braden Point, and I am cutting Elias Pettersson. And it is not because I don't like Sweden.
It's because it's not based off of the Helinka Gretzky. It's based off of right now as their players.
Oh, dude! When I was looking at the the graphic you sent was their year that they won the medal. So I expected that it was from the year that they played in the tournament. Like comparing that medal year.
Sorry, Keegan. I should have said that to you. Now you just embarrassed yourself. I will take the blame. All right, let me read off their stat lines. Braden Point, 81 games played, had 46 goals for 90 points this past year. Elias Pettersson had 82 games played, 34 goals for 89 points. Brock Besser, 81 games played, 40 goals, 73 points. So I'm sorry to embarrass you a little bit there, Keegan. I will go in your place for a second here while I'll let you decide for real this time. I'm going to start Braden Point. I think mine's the same as LeBlanc. I'm going to start Braden Point, bench Pettersson, cut Besser. Just as of right now, I think it's pretty abundantly clear.
Why do we always agree? We always agree with this. Every time we start bench cut, we always come to the same conclusion every time.
I don't know, man.
All right, well then, just to be different, since I can't really recover from my go, I'll start Braden Point. I will bench Brock Besser, and I will cut Elias Pettersson.
Okay. All right. I like that answer. News, I guess, is up next around the National Hockey League. There is literally nothing. We are in that period where there is nothing. Oscar Klefbom retired. Played, I think, 378 games at 156 points. He battled injuries since the 2020 bubble playoffs and never got back.
Yeah, so Klefbom's a sad story because he was a really good defenseman. If he didn't have those injuries, probably Edmonton doesn't need to go out and get a guy back home.
They don't sign Darnell Nurse to a ridiculous contract. I don't think they signed Nurse to that deal. Yeah. And then the other piece of news was Matthew Phillips signed with the Colorado Avalanche, a solid fourth-line depth forward. That's about it.
The Avalanche are taking all of the high-risk, high-reward guys and just signing them. You look at Killington, Brandstrom, Kelly, now Matthew Phillips.
That's the other thing. Also, I forgot to mention, as LeBlanc said, Oliver Shillington signed with the Avalanche. And Carter Yakimchuk, podcast legend, signed a 3-year ELC with the Ottawa Senators. So some nice news there around the National Hockey League. All right, our next topic is an interesting one, and it was one that LeBlanc found. So, LeBlanc, do you want to take the lead here and explain this one?
Is it the one I think you're talking about?
Yes, the futures.
So this is honestly, what did LeBlanc find on Twitter? This is the original post is from JX Puck. He put up a poll saying, "Let's rank the teams in 5 years." So this is 5 years down the road and where they'll be. I've kind of tweaked it a little bit, so I've added all of our teams with the same team. So the teams are obviously Ottawa, Philadelphia, Chicago, Montreal, Detroit, San Jose, Anaheim, and Buffalo.
Yes. I got them all on there for Keegan. All right. So, should we start off with number 8 on this list?
I just have to quickly edit right this. Hang on. All right, yeah, we're good.
All right. So at number 8 for me, this is really difficult because these are like the 8 teams with like honestly some of the best futures in the National Hockey League. I gotta say, and people are going to be shocked by this, but I think the Philadelphia Flyers got to be number 8 on this list. It's unfortunate for me to say as a Philadelphia Flyers fan to put them 8th on this list, but I got to be honest, like, we got Mitchkov. That's about it. I mean, like, we got some other good guys in the pipeline, I guess, that could perform. But when you're putting it in the perspective of all of these teams right here, we got to go number 8. So I don't know where you guys stand on that.
Evan, I hate to be very bad news, but I agree with you.
Oh, God dang it. Keegan, please.
I did not go Philly. Not
you.
yet. And James, I sincerely do apologize, but I did put Ottawa at 8.
Oh.
I hope they succeed. And let me just say, I probably changed this list 2,000 times. Like, any of these teams could have went really anywhere, I think. But yeah, starting off my list at 8, I unfortunately had to put Ottawa there.
Thank you, Keegan.
Would you like to plead your case? I'm all for a discussion or constructive criticism.
I just think
they're the closest to making the playoffs.
I think you look at the roster, make it totally. So a lot of these teams are banking on some prospects, the prospects to come over and develop. But I think me and Evan had this conversation this afternoon. Not all prospects are going to pan out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's why teams they draft multiple guys in the top 2 rounds. The more you have more chances. Like, if you put more chips on the table, you'll have a better chance of winning.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
So, and I think Ottawa has... The only issue I would say is probably, goaltending, because I think the future's kind of murky with that. But you look at Ottawa's, forward youth, their defense youth. I don't think they're number 1 on this list. They're a far cry from it, but I think they're a little better than 8.
Okay. Number 7 on this list for teams with the best futures. I'm balancing between 2. I think I'm going to lean... I don't want to put them that low. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm putting the Buffalo Sabres at 7.
Wow.
I think, and you guys might disagree with this, and I might change this, but I think Buffalo, they have a lot of young talent, yes, but they haven't figured it out yet with a lot of that young talent in the NHL. So, and they're still a few years away from the playoffs, if you want my honest opinion on that. So, Buffalo at 7 is where I stand.
Hey, Evan.
LeBlanc's look on his face looks like he agrees with me, doesn't
Guess
he?
what? We agree again.
Oh, my God, dude. What is it? This has got to be the most boring podcast ever for you viewers to watch. Because all we have done in the last, 15 episodes is just agree on everything. Yep, I agree. My God. All right, so Sabres at 7. Keegan, please don't agree with us.
I do not have the Sabres. Clearly, it's a connection between you guys because I'm striking out with you guys. But I have Philadelphia at number 7.
Okay. All right. That's a fair argument. Do you want to explain why?
They have Michkov. I think he will be dominant. I think he's going to be great in the NHL, but then I looked at their other players on the prospect list, and there weren't too many other great names that were really sticking out to me. So compared to these other teams, I don't think they'll have as strong of a future. Still a good one, but not as strong of a future.
Okay, I definitely agree with you. I mean, obviously, I have them lower, so I definitely can agree with that. All right, number 6.
Evan, I swear, you have the same one as me.
Should I just go Ottawa? Should I just go Ottawa just to run you off the course? No,
I already have both your guys' teams out of here.
Yeah, exactly. You knocked ours out. I should knock yours out.
Right.
I might actually do that. Hang on. I'm trying to think. No, I'm gonna go. I think right now, I'm gonna go Sharks.
Evan!
No way. Are you for real?
Yes.
Right now, I got Sharks at 6. Listen. Let me explain for some Sharks fans that might not be particularly happy with this. I think they definitely are top 5, or they definitely have like a great future, but they're still a long way away before they make the Stanley Cup playoffs.
So if I could interrupt, Evan, like in 5 years, the Sharks will be they're going to be on the come up. There's a lot of work to do in San Jose.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got the pieces, the good building pieces, but they're not there yet. All right, Keegan.
What you guys said, San Jose? I liked San Jose's draft they had this year, Celebrini, Dickinson. I think those were both great acquisitions. Yes, there is still a lot of work to do. Will it work out? Obviously, I think it'll work out better than you guys think it will because I have them higher on my list. At number 6, and this is a team that I really rooted for last year because of one man. Will they be this is where it really gets great for me. I think any of these teams could switch. I had Detroit at number 6.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I like that input.
Yeah, so do I.
I think that they're definitely I don't know if they're closest to making the playoffs, like I said for Ottawa, but they're definitely
Clearly, they were really close as they only missed out by
they
were
a single point.
I was rooting for them so hard. Obviously, being a Hawks fan with Kaner, I wanted them to see them make the playoffs. But I hope they can figure it out. But a lot of good talent on this list.
Are you rooting for them again this year since they have Kane again?
Yeah, they'll be my team out of the East that I want to see Kane and DeBrincat hopefully both make a playoff run.
Awesome. I love to hear that. All right. Number 5, I'm going to go Ottawa Senators on this list.
Evan, we don't agree.
Thank God.
The streak is over.
All right, so Ottawa at 5. Part of it's because I don't want to have the same list as LeBlanc. But I think Ottawa is definitely closest to making the playoffs, but I do think there are guys with bigger and better cornerstones than some of the players on Ottawa. So that's where I stand. LeBlanc, who do you have at 5?
Detroit.
Our first disagreement. Detroit? Okay. Yeah. And you want to go in depth with that a little bit?
I like what Detroit's building. I think it's really close with the 2 teams in front of them on this list. They got a really good prospect pool. Goaltending in the future. Augustine and Costa is going to be a dynamic duo for the future. I think that's where they're really going to shine. Defensively, I am worried about that. But they have the core. They have the placeholders there that will be gone by then. They should be having a youth movement in the next 2 to 3 years. So I think they're going to be a consistent playoff team going forward. But I don't know. I just don't trust some of the defensive prospects. I don't trust the roster makeup as of right now.
Okay. All right, Keegan, who's your 5?
At my 5, I took the team that drafted the player that I really wanted in this past draft. I have Montreal. They took Ivan Demidov. I think they have a good prospect pool, but there's a few names I wasn't too familiar with, so I couldn't really put them higher, as I can't make as strong of a debate as I have for my teams above them.
Oof. Habs fans ain't gonna like you after that one. Number 4, and this.
They're already. I wish I'd have time to explain my Kirby Doc video. I got eaten out by Montreal fans. After Kirby Doc had his shootout goal in Chicago, his return. Ooh. Yeah, I made a video about it, and Montreal was not too pleased.
Oh, they're not typically pleased about anything.
Yeah, I'm wanted in Montreal, actually. There's posters
up. Wanted, dead or alive?
Public enemy number 1 in Montreal now.
I went to Montreal because that's where my grandmother lives. I went to Montreal, and someone recognized me, and they just flipped me off. Wow. They're like, "Hey, I know you."
Wow.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Gotta respect the passion.
Number 4, and this is where me and LeBlanc can't agree. I have the Red Wings at 4. I love what the Red Wings are doing. I love their pool. And my girlfriend's a Red Wings fan, so I can't really put them any lower than yeah. So,
Conflict of interest. Oh, excuse me. Oh.
God. All right, LeBlanc, who's your 4?
Ottawa.
All right. You want to explain this since you're the Sens fan?
I'm a homer. That's all we got to say.
That's fair. That's respectable. That is a respectable argument.
I love that answer.
I just think right now Ottawa has, like, you look at the forward core, I think they're all, like, superstars right now. Look at Kachuk, Stützle, going for the future. Sanderson's going to be a superstar as well. I like the pillars they have. The only place I don't like them is in the net. That's the only place that I can't argue. But, yeah, I think they have some good pieces that are, like, already producing highly in the NHL right now. And, yeah.
I like that answer. Keegan, who's your number 4?
At 4, I have Buffalo. Obviously, I know you guys had them a little bit lower. I'm a little bit higher on them. I like what they've been building on the blue line. Owen Power, Rasmus Dahlin. I like the goaltending situation. Who's the young Ukko-Pekka Leka? I can't say his name right.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Just say UPL.
UPL. I like that's like UPS. Golden L. I like him. I think that they have a pretty good future. Obviously, they have struggled like all hell the past decade and a half. But I think eventually they'll be able to get it together.
I love that. I love that answer. Number 3, we're into the top 3 on this list, and I think it's where I'm going to put the Chicago Blackhawks at number 3. Sorry, Keegan. I think that with Bedard, they have a terrific future ahead, but I'm in love with the other teams that are above them, with what they're building. So I think that 100% in the next couple of years could be number 1 on this list. And if we do this again next year, we could definitely, our list could be changed. And again, this is hard. This is hard as hell to rank.
These teams could really go kind of anywhere. They can mix up quite a bit.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think 1, 2, and 3 are honestly so interchangeable with me. They're like razor close.
So
LeBlanc,
when I was doing this list, I have arrows pointed at where I switch teams. There's so many arrows in the top 3 that I've lost track of who's where. But number 3, I have Montreal.
Ooh. All right.
Montreal's got one of the most loaded prospect pools in the league. And yeah, like I said, like 1 and 2, 3, interchangeable to me. Like, I just think Montreal is, I don't know, I just think the other teams are better set up for the future.
I
love that answer. Keegan, who is your number 3?
My number 3, I have San Jose. Like I mentioned earlier, I like the draft they had. Still some bits and pieces that they need to work on, but I think eventually the Sharks will swim their way back to the top of the league. I'm looking at my top 3, and it looks like I made a list for like top 2010 teams. Not that doesn't spoil anything, of course, but
that's funny. All right, number 2, I'm gonna go with the Montreal Canadiens. I think again the Keegan and LeBlanc already said this. I think that they have great futures. The guys they've drafted are terrific. They're still a little ways away. I know their top 5 pick will really help them out. But I have Canadiens at 2. LeBlanc, who you got?
The arrows are just everywhere. I think I'm going to say Chicago.
Love it.
Yeah. It's like so close. Like, I just think Chicago has Bedard, and that's the one thing that they have the generational talent. But I do think that I do like the draft the past 2 drafts they've had. Well, I think the other team is a little more better set up to succeed in the future. And I also want to take account his next 5 years, take into account what division they play in.
Yes, the Central Division. So definitely
number 1, not number 2. I took into account number 1.
Oh, my apologies.
No, I said Chicago plays in a harder division than number 1.
Yeah, obviously. Keegan, who is your number 2? Is it gonna be?
Yeah. So, these 2 teams, like James said, like so close of where to put them. But I let my bias kind of push me over the edge. So at number 2, I have Anaheim, a team that I think is being so well built, going through the rebuild. I think they're going to be a team that really succeeds in the next couple of years here.
At number 1, I have the Anaheim Ducks. At number 1, LeBlanc has the Anaheim Ducks as well, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
I think Anaheim, their prospect pool, their young core is loaded. They have so many young players in their system that if they all do pan out at the level, they could be a dangerous team. I think they have really good prospects at the forward core. I think they have really good defensemen down below that are going to build up and get better. And then I think their goaltending is honestly set for the future with Lucas Dostal. Even though he is the backup to John Gibson for a few more years, I think that's perfect for him. And I think that honestly, it's exactly what the Ducks need. So, LeBlanc, you have anything more to add since you have the Ducks at 1 too?
The Ducks have the goalie of the future. I think if you don't have a goaltender for the future going forward, you can end up like the Ottawa Senators. You don't want to end up like the Ottawa Senators.
You don't want to be the Ottawa Senators, 100%. All right, and that leaves Keegan at his number 1 homer. What do you got, Keegan?
Yeah, I'll say this pick was nothing short of my strong bias I have towards my team. But no, for real, obviously I'm a huge Hawks fan. I like everything we've been building up. I got to see the success and then the downfall of the team. So seeing it start from the ground up and seeing everything that's gone into it and all the building blocks really makes me believe that this is going to be a very successful team in the future. Obviously, we got really lucky, some may say rigged, that we got Connor Bedard. So we're very lucky to have him. And then all the other young prospects that we're building around him, that we're slowly building our draft capital and getting a lot of good young prospects. I think we're hopefully building a second dynasty, but I don't want to be too greedy now.
You know, you may say, I may have said that you are biased, but I think you have a completely valid answer.
Yeah.
I wanted to try stay non-biased, but once I saw, I still had my Hawks, it was between Anaheim and Chicago. I'm like, I think I have to pick Chicago.
Is that going to be the next, conference final matchup?
It could be like 2015 with Anaheim. It could be like 2010 with San Jose. Who knows?
Could be. It could be those 3 teams battling it out again in the 2030s or something.
Yeah,
or late 2020s. All right, I think next up we can draft our Metro team.
We did the Metro last weekend.
Or not Metro, Central team. What I wanted to say is we need to clear the air. We made a mistake.
Evan Dunn messed up.
Evan can't count. That's what it was. So I think originally we had our team. I think we had Timo Meyer on the third line.
Yes.
For us. And we had 6 New Jersey Devils, and we're only supposed to have 5. So I think we replaced Meyer with
Chris Kreider.
Yeah. And then I think we had to replace our extra, didn't we?
No,
right?
Trocheck.
Oh, yeah. So we put it as Trocheck. So obviously we made a mistake there. We do apologize for that. But regardless, let's get into our Central Division team. The rules for this are you have to draft 1 player from each team, which shouldn't be that hard of a thing to do. But you can only draft 5 players from a certain team. That's the max. So if we go over the limit, obviously we'll have to make changes like we did. But regardless, Keegan, do you understand the rules?
I think so. I think I'll get it as we go along.
I think Keegan should start since he is our guest.
I agree. I'm on the same page. So, Keegan, who are you taking first in our Metro team? 4 lines, extra forward, 7 defensemen, 3 goalies.
Oh, it's 4 lines? Oh, gee, I got to lock in. Okay.
Should have said that, shouldn't
I don't want to continue to be biased, but my Lord and Savior, Connor Bedard, is still there. So I'm going to take Nathan McKinnon with my first pick.
Okay, I love that. I thought you were actually going to go in that direction. I was like, oh my.
No, not yet.
Not yet. All right, I will go next. I am going to take Kirill Kaprizov for the left wing slot. I'm basing off a daily face-off, LeBlanc.
Okay, then you do that.
All right, LeBlanc?
I am going to take another Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to take Mikko Rantanen. I believe he plays. I believe he's right wing.
Let me take a look at that real quick.
I need you to correct. I need you to just.
Yes, he is. He is a right wing. So we got Rantanen on the right wing. That marks out our first line. We'll make any changes if we have to.
That first line is insane.
Yeah, that first line's wild. All right, Keegan, you're up next.
My next pick, I'll take Roman Yossi.
Ooh, we're gonna do just forwards for now.
Just forwards now? All right, then I gotta take Bedard.
All right. Okay, sorry. I probably should have said that too. I'm horrible.
That's good.
My apologies. All right, Bedard at second line. I don't blame you for going that way. I'm gonna take Jason Robertson at left wing for our second line. Damn, with 3 people, we get through like one line. All right, LeBlanc, you're up next.
I'm going to go Kyle Connor.
Yes. Actually, wasn't even thinking about Winnipeg. All right, so we already have 5 teams knocked off the board. We need a player from Utah, and
Utah, St. Louis.
Yes, Utah, St. Louis, and
Nashville.
one more team, Nashville. Okay, all right, Keegan, you're up.
I'll take Robert Thomas.
Ooh, I like that.
I love that pick. That's a good pick.
Robert Thomas. I'm going to take, and he's a newly added player to this division. Give me Steven Stamkos
Ooh, okay.
on the left wing.
That's so weird. That's so not right.
I know, it is so weird to say.
I'm going to take a left wing, Evan. I'm going to take Clayton Keller.
Yes, all right. So at least we have one player from each team. All right, that's me up next. Ooh, who are some good right wingers?
Well, my beer league stats speak for themselves.
All right, LeBlanc, your Chell stats also speak worse.
Hey. Don't put that evil on me.
I'm just looking through the lines here. I got like daily face-off pulled up, trying to see like
that's smart.
who are my best options here. I think I gotta go Jonathan Marchessault. So I guess we're gonna go with another new player to this division. He's a right wing.
New player merchant.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Keegan's up next, I believe.
Do I still have to take a forward?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second here. Does it have to be a winger, or can it be?
Be a center. We only have 3 centers on, right?
It could be a center or a right wing.
It could be a center.
Or
I gotta find another right
well,
wing.
there's left wing. We always have the extra slot.
Yeah, we do have the extra slot, and that can be any position.
Okay, but right now either like a center or like a right wing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh my god, I just went on freaking Seattle. Oh my god, what is he still doing there?
How about let's go Ryan O'Reilly?
Ooh, yes, I like that. Oh my god, I completely forgot this guy existed.
My pick's going in the extra slot, and I think we will have to move him up later. Rupe Hintz.
Ooh, yes. I'm going to finish off the forward group with Jordan Kyrou. I don't know how I missed him.
That's the guy I was thinking about taking my last pick.
All right. You guys can discuss the forwards here real quick. Who do you guys think we should move up?
I think you move up Hintz. That's just me, though. I'm a big fan of Rupe Hintz. I don't hate the center depth, but I think you have to put Rupe Hintz above O'Reilly.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I would like O'Reilly probably on a lower line, too.
All right, so we'll have O'Reilly as our extra. Hintz is the fourth liner?
Yeah, we'll go Hintz. Yeah, Hintz fourth line.
Yeah, that's
okay.
How do you feel about Stamkos and Keller swap?
Stamkos fourth line? I don't particularly know if I would agree with that.
Okay, no, that's fine. Just throwing it
as a Utah fan at heart, been with the team since day one. I don't know if I can particularly agree with that, to be honest. I think the rest looks good though. Maybe Kyrou above Marchessault?
There's a player that we forgot, but I don't know if you agree with putting him here.
Who would we forget? We can take someone out. Matt Boldy? All right, he's a right wing, right? He's a right wing, right?
Yeah, he's listed as a right winger.
All let's ask this question: is he better than Kyrou? Hang on, let me pull up their stats. If y'all, I don't know. That's kind of like a close.
It's close, yeah.
Matt Boldy. All right, hang on a second. So Matt Boldy, I should really have this on. I should have this on speed dial, but this computer's slow. So Matt Boldy this past season put up 69 points in 75 games played. That's nice. Jordan Kyrou put up 67 points in 82 games played. So I think it's really close. What do you guys think?
I personally would take Boldy over Kyrou. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I'd probably go Boldy as well over Kyrou.
Okay, we can do that. We might get some flack for that, though. Just saying. Just saying.
There's another player
Right.
where I'm gonna just leave it because we need to get through this.
All right, defenseman. Keegan, I'll let you go first since you already said one
We'll go with him once again, Roman Josi.
for the second time. So Yossi is a right defenseman. Okay, I'm trying to think. Who are some other good defensemen? Give me Josh Morrissey.
Nice.
Shout out Carter.
He's left, right?
Yes, Morrissey's left. Remember, we got to think about goalies.
Well, I'm going to take the obvious answer. I'm going to take Cale Makar.
Oh my God! How could I forget
That's
that?
crazy how we both forgot that.
Now I'm looking like a complete idiot.
And now we're putting Makar first pairing. I don't want to hear no flack.
What side is he?
He's right side.
Okay.
Let's
so
get a little bit of chemistry in there. I'll take Devon Tays.
Ooh. Okay.
And Taze is left, so he's his partner. So yeah, that makes sense.
Is Tays better than Morrissey though?
Listen, I already went through this. I'm not going through it again. We're going to keep it the way it is.
Okay, that's right. We already went through that. All right, that puts Colorado at 4. Just so you guys know, we only have one more slot, but I don't think we'll use it. I'm up next, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just look at the options I have here. Is there one guy I'm not particularly thinking about? Oh, I just deleted. I'm gonna go with Brock Faber because why not?
You know what? I hate it when you take my picks. You know.
Right defense, third pairing Brock Faber. That puts Minnesota at 2 or 3 now.
Now I have to think because you just sniped my pick.
My apologies. Who are my other options? Trying to look. Well, actually,
I don't want to give any hints, but there's a really good guy on Dallas.
You missed Miro Heiskanen.
oh,
You missed. I'm picking Miro Heiskanen because I think so.
Heiskanen over Faber. Faber can be our extra unless we find someone else really good. Oh my God, I cannot believe I almost missed that. You know, I was thinking about Faber the moment we started this, or the moment we started defenseman. Who's our best option? Oh! How about Sergachev? What do we think?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Left defense, Sergachev? Trying to think. Well, there's
Evan, I'm writing these down, and you kind of got me screwed up here because I don't know who the defense is now.
okay. All right, let me give it them. So we got Morrissey, Makar, Tays, Yossi, Sergachev, Heiskanen, and then Brock Faber.
Right.
All right, that puts everyone at 3. So we have every single team. I think we're free to go with goalies here. Honestly, we can pick any goalie in the league.
Wait, no. It said I would do it from last time. We're all going to say who should be number 1 on 3. You ready?
For a goalie,
3.
so we're saying our best goalie?
Yeah. All right. 3,
Yes.
2, 1. Connor Hellebuyck.
Connor Hellebuyck.
Hellebuck. Forgot Hellebuck existed. Sorry, Jets fans. Oh my God. Yeah, Hellebuck.
Who did
Hellebuck.
you guys, I didn't even hear what you guys said.
I said Hellebuyck.
Oh.
He said Soros.
I forgot Hellebuck existed. My apologies.
It's one of the best.
I think Saros should be the backup.
I am okay with that.
Okay.
I can't think of any other goalie who's in the division now that.
Maybe like Jake Ottinger.
Ottinger, yeah, that's what to say.
That's the only that was going to be my third string.
I'm gonna go with Saros over Ottinger.
Yes.
I'm cool with that.
All right. And that is our team. Do we want to make any more changes to this?
Is there a way we could add Cole Gutman?
No.
No, not on this team. All right.
We'll make him an associate member.
He'll be a healthy scratch.
Actually, that'd be a cool idea. We should do like a coach for each division too. We could have did that.
Wait, Evan,
let me just spark some conversation. Who will we pick
for coach?
Yeah. Pete DeBoer, Andrew Brunette,
Jared Bednar.
I like Andrew Brunette.
Brunette, yeah.
I think I lean Brunette. I'm not gonna include
Evan.
that,
Evan, I want you to count every team before we.
I did.
Okay,
I kept track. So we didn't hit 5 with any team, if I'm correct.
Really? I suppose the first time this happened.
We hit 4 with a lot of them, but we didn't hit 5.
Spread it across.
Very spread across division. So we'll start off with our offense here. First line, Gabriel Kaprizov, Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Jason Robertson, Connor Bedard, Kyle Connor, Steven Stamkos, Robert Thomas, Jonathan Marchessault, Clayton Keller, Rupe Hintz, Matt Boldy, and then Ryan O'Reilly is our extra. Then we have at our defense Josh Morrissey, Cale Makar, Devon Tays, Roman Josi, Mikhail Sergachev, Miro Heiskanen, and then Brock Faber's our extra. Goaltending's Connor Hellebuck, Jose Saros, and Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
Ooh. Guys.
That team's winning a lot of games.
Yeah.
Guys. Philip Forsberg.
Oh, man. I literally met him this summer, bro.
Is he left or right?
He's a left wing, I think.
Let me count my Nashville guys here real quick. Stamkos.
Just double check. Yeah, he's a left wing. God.
Okay, so we actually are at 5 for Nashville. So
okay.
We have to take someone out if we put Forsberg in. So we're making a change here. Our left wing option is Kaprizov, Robertson, Stamkos, Keller. And hear me out. I think we swap Stamkos with Forsberg.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think that fixes our problem.
We might get flack, but you know what? I don't care.
We might get flack, but we might just have to say in the comments like we hit the requirement.
They're both good. They're both good options too. It's not like you're really losing on one.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I think we're good everywhere else. I don't believe we are forgetting anyone. I think we're good. All right.
The only other player I'm going to mention, and I don't think you're going to put him in, Buchnevich.
Yeah, that was someone that I looked at, but Buchnevich is
center.
I don't think we'd put him in over.
I don't think either. So, but that's how strong the center core is in the division.
Again, the center depth is terrific.
It's deep. It's deep.
Yeah. So that's all I got. You guys got anything else we can discuss?
I think this is a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a very good team. And I guess that'll do it for the episode. Episode 15 is done. Keegan, thank you very much for coming on. We do appreciate it. The first guest in Nordblock history.
Yes.
We do appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. Very honored once again to be the first guest of many, hopefully. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm glad to be able to talk to you guys tonight.
No problem. All right, that'll conclude episode number 15 of the Nordcast. LeBlanc, any final thoughts?
I'm hungry.
All right, go eat your food. All right, that'll conclude episode number 15 of the Nordcast. Thank you for watching or listening. If you're listening, give us a good review. Tell your friends. Check out the Instagram at NordblockPod. If you're watching, give us a like and subscribe on the Nordic 97 channel. Did that in a different order this episode, but regardless, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you for watching or listening, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Adios.
Ciao.